I recall, there were two motions that were carried at that meeting. And I don't know that we dealt with those two motions. One of the motions by Councilwoman Franco specifically said that red ledges will be required to immediately grant the water line easement as a show of good faith in continuing the discussion to resolve the issues. Has that motion been dealt with? Has the water line easement been granted?
Yes, the city manager got that on Wednesday, and he told me that it was delayed by the mayor.
Let me clarify. We met on Thursday, and I think by Saturday, Councilman Crittenden had basically gotten a framework for an agreement that was seemed acceptable to the city. And as we discussed that in agenda prep, we felt if we had an agreement that met the needs of the city, there was no reason to make that request. It was on Monday, that next week, that we'd already seen the new agreement.
Well, I don't recommend that here. If we were to request the water line easement, it would not need to go to county council. It would not need to go to Twin Creeks. It would be something that should have been granted immediately to the city as a good faith effort. Now, I do appreciate, Mark, your other good faith efforts. I really do. But I am very concerned that motions passed by this city council are not being enforced.
Like I say, we discussed in the agenda prep, Councilman Crittenden and the mayor were there. It was kind of a consensus of the group that it wasn't necessary to immediately do that. Potentially, we had this back up, as soon as we did. But I respect the concern there.
So that was a meeting in private?
It was a staff meeting. I think the conclusion was, with the information presented to the staff, we looked at what was there, what Ron presented, took care of all the situation and stuff, and I'll still do all at once. I don't know if it said immediately. I don't remember exactly what the motion was.
Could I just ask Rich, if we pass this tonight and everybody signs it, what is it that those two items that we passed won't have been fulfilled? There was no timeline on either of those. It didn't say it had to be done by such and such a day. It could still be done. I think the council may choose to take them off, to rescind them, but that's up to a later item here. But you will get the easement for the water immediately, and there's no need to have a committee to review what's already been conceded completely by Red Ledges.
Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, you're hearing one side of the story. We've made progress. I'm not denying that. We have made progress. But specifically with regard to these two motions, I clearly left that meeting with the belief and understanding that Red Ledges was obligated to, as a show of good faith, to grant the water line easement to continue discussions to resolve issues relating to extension and the bypass road. Yeah. To continue discussions. It sounds like discussions were continued in private without Red Ledges having granted that water line easement. I don't understand that. That's something outside of public purvey.
Well, let me go back to Rich. You've been here many times. I appreciate your effort coming here tonight. Everything you've requested and asked for is in this amendment. It's being done tonight on it. I don't see your point in the move trying to keep pushing an issue which you've already going to get accepted. You get your water line, you get everything you need it. Why go back and keep fighting over some things that I just have been taken care of done and say, hey, we've got it done. It's over with. Let's move on. Can you move on?
I'm trying to move on.
Let's move on. Let's move on and put that on the side. That's been taken care of. It's time to move on. It's time to work with Red Ledges. Both of you need to get together and final agreement between the two of you. The two of you, one that gives, one doesn't give. I don't know who's holding what up, but it sounds like to me Red Ledges has offered enough to you on the table to turn him down now. I think
no one's saying it. No one's saying it's turned down. Keep in mind, I got the agreement drafted by Red Ledges attorney today at 2:30.
even been waiting.
That's it. I was going into the meeting at 3 o'clock. I saw it today at 2:30. I have not had time to review it. I don't know what's in here. I don't know what's in here. So what am I
That's still
supposed to
between
do?
you two, it's nothing to do with the city. The city's part is taking care of what it needed to do and put in place, so both of you can work something out.
You're saying it's been taken care of because,
Because the rest of it's a private matter.
pardon me?
Because the rest of it's a private matter between the two entities.
Okay.
I'm very concerned that it does match up, whatever is there. Again, I didn't see it till 4/21, okay, and then I couldn't see it, right? I'm just really concerned, hopefully, based on what Mark is saying, and Bart and Tony that haven't reviewed either, that it does match up with previous conditions that the legis and you have already agreed to. See, I don't know that either.
Well, and I don't, since I only got it at 2:30.
It does. I've acquiesced on everything the city and Stone Creek has asked for. It does.
My attorney has not a chance, obviously hasn't had a chance. I haven't looked at it.
I'm sure we'll have some back and forth on the
If I had seen this a day ago, or 2 days ago, I might have a different story, but I haven't looked at it. I don't know what's here. It came late. I'm not saying we haven't made progress. What I'm saying is it hasn't been timely, the progress hasn't been timely. I was hoping to receive this a day or two ago. I didn't. At that point in time, I indicated to Todd, if I don't have it by the end of the day Wednesday, I'm going to have to come up and voice some level of concern. And I got it at 2:30 today as I was going into a meeting. I had to leave to get here at 5 o'clock. I don't even know what's here.
Is it not true, however, that most all, if not a sentence or two, that whatever was discussed as much as a week ago when it was proffered to you, that they would concede all those things?
Actually, the concession on, the final concessions, if they did happen, I don't think happened until probably Tuesday of this week.
I have the email to prove it.
Well, that's between the two, that agreement.
Yeah, the point still is, I don't know what the agreement is. There's supposition.
I don't know if you got it last week, if you got a chance to review it, or just 2 words changed the whole agreement, that's between the two of you. But at this point, if there's anything else you want to talk about, we're moving on. Does anybody in the audience like to say a few words?
Good apartments in Heber City. Mayor, I know you guys are doing everything in good faith about this deal with the legis. They've got a timeline starting in October this year. I don't think we should extend their agreement any longer than it is, because that road needs to go in. It's going to take a lot of pressure off at Center Street, as I talked about in the last meeting, and some of the other areas off Mill Road. And there's not a traffic study that's been done, except for maybe back in 2007, I talked to Mark earlier in the week. You referred to me about Milford as finding more information out, I haven't been able to get a hold of him. But in the same breath, these two gentlemen, these two projects are making, trying to make an arrangement to settle this and make it work for both of them. But it's still sitting here in front of you saying, okay, you're going to give me an extension until for 3 more years. But the water easement still wasn't done. I'm good with it. Thanks, Heber, for making the motion. And Ron for trying to bring it all together. And that water easement